We've just passed the 5th anniversary of the Delphi murders, what we know as the Delphi murders in true crime arena shorthand. The deaths of Abby Williams, Libby German, and they were found on Valentine's Day 2017 after going missing the day before, the 13th. And we've got the usual theatrics and face contortions from Carter, the goggly eyes and the wobbling wattle and the watery eyes. It's to the point where you just think the man's deranged, and does he need a cup of tea and a lie down? Just personally, I would prefer if a man or woman spoke very clearly about the case in a assertive, authoritative manner, in a way that gave assurance to the public that if they are the person that might be able to break the case open as far as getting an arrest, they would have the confidence to do so, because Carter himself seems nearly to be root source of probably 50% of what is bogging down the investigation, because of course all these bogus things coming in have to be examined, and he doesn't do anything to waylay people's conspiracy theories. You know, he needs to tell the general public, particularly the county of Carroll County and the surrounding counties, he needs to be very firm about what people should look out for. If they have suspicions, how could they check information in their own lives so that they know what to come forward with, right? So what are they looking for? You know, with regards to a loved one, a friend, acquaintance, etc., and something that they've just been pushing aside all that time, thinking, no, it can't be, or look, hey, if I'm right, even though I can't believe I would be, if I'm right, then of course police will be onto it anyway, so I'm not going to do anything. Or they think it's better to, you know, protect a loved one. Maybe they are feeling in danger themselves, or they don't really believe that the person would commit another crime, whatever the reason is. Yeah, there's no excuse, because at this stage, anyone who is keeping information from police, you know, for example, something that would break open the alibi of the perpetrator, what you are right now, okay, what that person is right now is an accomplice to the murders of Abby and Libby. Yep, they are complicit. What I am coming on here to talk about now with regards to Delphi murders are the cowards and lunatics who have this empowerment now, right? They feel strong and bold to come out against Ron Logan now, with much fervour, okay? After talk of Ron Logan as the perpetrator died down for a while since his death, now that he can't be interviewed again, it's a shame. Ms. Fucking Wonderful's channel's down. I know it would be elsewhere, but Katie and friend actually did a really wonderful interview with Ron Logan. I think a lot of people can't have seen it. He hasn't just been interviewed in the video that is, you know, what's normally, I'm not speaking very well, am I? Maybe I'll have to start this again. and what's often shown, his videos that are most often circulated, when people talk of Ron Logan, they usually show 1 or 2 clips, the same clips. They're not Katie's video. I wish I knew the other lady, because it's probably on her channel. But that doesn't get shown very often. And anyway, should I start again? Heck it. You know, so they're seeking out anywhere that they can write their tosh. Sometimes they're making their own videos. They've started, making videos. There might be 4 or 5 videos on there, and all slamming Ron Logan. They're seeking out other people's videos so they can come onto channels such as the Humanimal channel, finding videos that I've made many moons ago about Ron Logan, so that they can say, look, you should never join any crime fighting official factions, never be a police officer because, you're hopeless, because, I don't think Ron Logan done it. And they say the most vile things, and they think they're smart. And of course, we've got image analysis detection. What a oxymoron, coming out in force again. They think this is their moment too. Or because Ron Logan's dead, he can't say anything for himself again. The guy suffered for years. He went to prison. People will say, well, he broke his parole, with a month to go. Why? Just so, and he's lying. And look, this is an addict. He'd probably broken his parole quite a lot. Who knows? We're talking about an addict, a drunk. Ron Logan had problems with alcohol. He probably mostly wanted to be home drinking alone, and you make poor decisions when you're drunk and when you're an addict, and you do things like drive yourself to the dump, go to burger restaurants or what have you, when you shouldn't be driving or drinking out in public, whatever it is, right? I can't remember his exact charges. Do you think, I know we are upset with the way the investigation is going. It seems so moronic at times, but do you really think that Ron Logan, if he was the perpetrator and after that time in prison, etc., do you think law enforcement can't work it out? The thing is, even if he was under the influence and he's killed these girls, you don't think he's going to go with his little tractor or a 4-wheel drive down to the end of his property, load the poor girls' bodies up onto that vehicle, try and take the bodies away somewhere or bury them? You think he's just going to lay them bare on his property, at the bottom of his property near Deer Creek? You think? How retarded do you think Ron Logan is? That he can't work out maybe someone's going to come looking for the girls, so maybe they're just going to look here, right? Seriously? He let people onto his property immediately. He was devastated. It sickened him, and it ruined his private Idaho, didn't it? He had some land that he lived the later years of his life on, and it ruined him, and it's killed him, hasn't it? The stress of it all, the heartbreak of it all, the accusers, that pressure and that judging eye. He's lived under that cloud and it's killed him. And these people that think they're brainiacs are still going at him. When there are, there's a long list of people that could have committed this crime, that's so freaky about this, could be one of the reasons why it's not sold, is just the huge plethora of possible perpetrators. You know, completely random, out of the blue, passing through crime. You know, that would be one reason why it would be very hard to solve, right? But you can't ignore that there seems to be a child pornography ring that has been in contact with Libby and, by proxy, Abby, and it just opens up a web of nasties, and means that there's a huge list of people that could be the perpetrators. It's not necessarily Keegan Anthony Klein, who was finally put in prison in 2020. He spent 3 years free. Doesn't prison look like it hasn't been kind to him? So pleasing to see. That just warms the cockles, doesn't it? How unwell he looks. He looks, to me, Keegan Klein, his outward appearance that we see when he's on the telephone in the interview there, doesn't he just look like his soul is? He looks sick. He looks like he has a stench. He looks vile. I don't think that he's the person on the bridge troll, as I like to name him, but it's possible, very possible, he knows exactly who it is, or it's someone in his network, even his father, Tony Klein. It's possible that they know who the bridge troll is, who killed Abby and Libby. It's very possible that it's more than one person. If it's not, you know, I believe if it's not this sort of, not a drifter, but maybe a truckie, something like that, if it's not just this person that's come in and out, then I think, you know, it's likely it is a group. And isn't it spooky how everyone connects, you know, how this crime can connect to people that are known murderers, such as Garrett Kurtz. There's all these connections. Mr. Nobody keeps taking his videos down. That's Mister, capital Nobody, no space between the words. He's a Midlothian, so that's in Illinois. I believe he's from there as well. He believes he is identified bridge guy. I have put a community post up with some screenshots. He's making a podcast about this because he says it's been 6 months and he's had no recognition from law enforcement that they've received his tip. He says his email still remains unopened. I say, well, you don't just send one email. You make several calls. You go into a police station. You do something like that. You make sure people get your information. You write a letter and send it express post. Whatever it is, just keep doing it. Okay? So there's no excuse. Yes, sending into the Abby and Libby email address is one thing. If it's unopened after 6 months, I don't know, do something about it. Why aren't you pursuing that? Anywho, he says that the searchers that were interviewed, remember there was the person Eric Williams. He says if Eric Williams is who he is saying he is, if it's this person, he says Eric Williams lived near the Flora Fire home. Also, he says the person that's with Eric Williams, and Eric Williams is the one that says, and yeah, we're just out here looking for the girls. And then his friend starts talking, yeah, we're searching for the girls, as if he's trying to erase Eric Williams saying they were looking for the victims. We all know what he was going to say. Now, maybe it's running in his mind that these girls have been victims of something. I just think that's tosh. There's no reason you'd say it. You'd say, we're looking for the missing children. We are looking for the missing women. We are looking for Abby and Libby. We're looking for the girls. You do not say we're looking for the victims. I don't think, but hey, apparently I'm an idiot. And he's in frame with this other shorter guy who does look like he could actually be related to Keegan-Anthony Klein, and he's just got that look, right? He's a shorter guy than Eric Williams, or at least how he's standing. Dark hair, stupid thin moustache. He's wearing a sweatshirt that has, it looks like it says Mon on High Bridge Trail underneath it, because you can see the M-O-N. Yeah. You can see it looks like it's saying Monon, and he's got his searcher's vest on, and Mr. Nobody is saying this is the first cousin of the killer. So he also says that he knows who the second sketch is. He's identified it, put up a picture of a guy that does look something like him. He says that he hopes that he's not involved because he's got a very good image, a good boy image, you know. And Mr. Nobody says, okay, so this killer, he's from Illinois now. He's someone who went to Delphi High School for 2 years, to Bremen High School in Illinois for 2 years. And he thinks that he has been responsible for some abductions, strangulations, and then desecration of bodies by burning happening around where he lives, and within range of where the person who resembles the secondary sketch where he lives. So all within these radiuses of 7 to 8 blocks where girls went missing, their phones pinged, their scent was tracked, and you know, the girls are all young and slight, and we know that killers do choose women that you know, are going to be a bit more easy to handle. You know, they're not choosing the woman that is nearly 6 foot tall, looks like she is super fit. They would barely randomly pick on someone like that. They're going to pick on a woman that they can physically overpower easily and control. So this is usually, you know, a woman who is slight of build and maybe 5'3", you know. Pat Brown profile, I will tell you a lot more about that. Yeah, so there will be a podcast coming up about that. He thinks that there is a connection, maybe through Libby because of the sport. See, Libby and Abby were, at first he says, okay, at first he thought it was a connection through Abby. And then he goes, oh, because of the sport connection, the softball, maybe it's through Libby. Well, Abby played softball too. So, you know, I'm not saying that I believe that this person is believable or has anything to say based on concrete reasoning, you know, good reasoning or anything. I'm just saying it's interesting because he is calling out someone that's a younger person that has connections to the area that isn't there now, that would be someone that maybe you just wouldn't think of because he's a younger guy. I'm guessing he's going to be very early 20s now, if he was about 19 or 20 when he committed the crime. And yeah, it's just, could he somehow be connected through one of the families to the searchers? Could he somehow be connected to Keegan-Anthony Klein? I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I'll speak to you later.